Hello everyone, what's up? It's me again, Junkmonster3, and yeah, finally it's time for another video, and today's video is going to be an update video. So I know I did talk about them making a review video, but haven't watched too many horror films, to be honest, that I thought of reviewing. So, but I might get one or two done before next month. So yeah, but anyway, let's begin with the update video. I start with the only VHS that I picked up. The reason why I picked up this one on VHS is because I don't think this even has like a an official release on DVD or Blu-ray. Three Kinds of Heat, which is apparently a Canon production. I did not know that before, but the main reason why I picked this one up was because of Robert Ginty. So yeah, there you go. Then I'm gonna continue with the DVDs, and I'm gonna end it with the Blu-rays. First up, we have this box set, John Rowling collection, with all his, not all of his, but many of his vampire films that he's most known for, of course. I've only seen two films of his, and that was Living Dead Girl and The Grapes of Death, which I think is probably my favorite among those two. But in this box set includes Requiem for a Vampire, Shiver of the Vampires, Demoniacs, Lips of Blood, Night of the Hunted, and The Living Dead Girl, which I had already seen before, but yeah, that's a really great one. But yeah, some really sleazy vampire type films. So let's continue. This is really in a big mess, really. I mean, it's not really like horror and then action. I mean, it's just a random type of order when I'm gonna show these. So, well, anyway. First up, we have Broken Arrow, which the main reason why I decided to book this one was because of the cast and because of the director. It has John Travolta and Christian Slater in it, and John Woo is the director. So yeah, and I know he's really good at making action films in general. So yeah, and then we have 80s film called Body Heat with William Hurt and Kathleen Turner. Kathleen Turner was the main reason why I picked that one up. Then we have another 80s film, thriller action type film called Stormy Monday. Only heard good things about it, so I thought, well, yeah, another action, like 80s action type film in my collection. Then also I picked up this one, American Dragons, which has a really terrible looking cover art in my opinion, but yeah. Movie itself might be really good though. Then we have Chinatown, which I unfortunately haven't seen yet, but I've heard this is supposed to be a classic and one of the most like top-rated films, I believe, as well. This. Oh yeah, that's a Roman Polanski and with Jack Nicholson. So yeah. Then we have. Oh God, this is. Yeah, this is how it goes when mail order doesn't really work in Sweden. It's just cracked, so I need to properly replace the case. But The Accused from the 1980s, thriller drama type film, I believe. Yeah, let's see. No, it just kept jumping right here. Oh God. Then we have some Asian stuff. This is a double pack with two films. The first film is called The Bugmaster, and the other one is called X-Day Hair Extensions, I believe it's called. I don't think I've heard about any of those films before. So then I believe this is some sort of like Pinku type film. Stray Cat Rock Sex Hunter, and the weird looking cover art as well. So yeah, another one of those ones in the same category, you could say. Delinquent Girl Boss, Blessing Night Dreams. That's a very long title, but yeah, I think that's supposed to be in some sort of series, and I think that's the first one in that particular series. So I thought, well, I should watch the first one before I watch anything else, or if I want to get the other ones. So yeah. Then we have Beautiful Beast, and then we have Beautiful Prey. So let's see here. I think I need to let's continue with these ones. First up in this stack, so to say, we have The Doors, which is supposed to be some sort of biography type film. about the Doors and the lead singer in the band. What's his name? Morrison? Jim Morrison, yeah. So yeah, only heard good things about this one. But then again, this is directed by Oliver Stone, and when I watched that other film of his, Any Given Sunday, I was so disappointed and frustrated about that. But I mean, this is still a biography type film, so I have more higher hopes for that one. Then we have Michael Caine in Get Carter, some sort of revenge type crime film from the 70s. Another one in the same category, possibly, The Parallax View, also about corruption and stuff like that, also 70s film. And then I picked up this one. This is a film that I've wanted to get for a pretty long time. One of my favorite directors, actually, by Andrei Tarkovsky, and the film is Andrei Rublev. I think the other ones I really need to get a hold of is The Mirror and Ivan's Childhood, I believe. Those were the ones that I really enjoyed. Yeah. Let's see here. And then we have a film called Beat, which is a really stupid title because, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's probably numerous of other titles that has the same title. This is from the early 2000s, and the main reason why I picked this one up was because of Kiefer Sutherland and because it's a replay release, so kind of collect those that I think I might have mentioned in so many videos right now. So yeah, anyway, the next one is The Seahawk with Errol Flynn. I don't think I've seen a single Errol Flynn film yet, so that's probably going to be the first one. I'm still looking for that other like Robin Hood film that I think he played Robin Hood in that film, and I have not seen that one yet either, but that's probably going to be the next one I'm going to try to find. So yeah. Then we have Lost Highway by David Lynch. I am pretty certain I have seen this film, but then again, some of his films, I mean, David Lynch films are just really mindfuck type films in general. So I might have forgotten about some of these things in this film. So really entertaining, if I remember correctly, and really great cast as well. So yeah, that's it. Now let's see. I'm gonna continue with the next right here. Then we have Guilty as Sin with Rebecca De Mornay and Don Johnson. I never really understood whatever happened with Rebecca De Mornay. She was in so many films in the late 80s and throughout the entire 90s basically, and then it feels like she just disappeared. So yeah. Then we have 6 Days, 7 Nights, some sort of 90s or late 90s like adventure feel good type film from what I've heard, with Harrison Ford and Anne Heche. So yeah. Then we have this film. I think this is supposed to be a sort of a biography type film on the real case of Albert Fish. If you know who Albert Fish is, yeah, you know what the entire storyline about this is probably going to be about. If you don't know about the case, sure look it up and see if it's something you would like to see in a film. But anyway, it's the film called The Grey Man. So yeah, seems really creepy. Then we have Forbidden Planet with the pretty young Leslie Nielsen. This is probably the oldest Leslie Nielsen film I got in my collection right now. This is from the 50s, so yeah. Then we have this one. I'm not too sure of in which order this comes, because this is not really called like part 2 or part 3 or part 4. They all have different type of titles, but this is the film called The Revenge of Frankenstein from the 50s, I believe, 58, so yeah. Then we have Urban Cowboy with John Travolta, of course, early 80s. And then we have Blue Velvet, another David Lynch film. This I really enjoyed. This is probably one of my favorite David Lynch films now when I come to think of it. I mean, Eraserhead is just plain weird in my opinion. I mean, I still really like Eraserhead, but I would say this probably has more rewatchability in this one. So yeah. Then we have Junior Bonner, another Sam Peckinpah film to the collection. The only Sam Peckinpah film that I have missing is the Ballad of Cable Who. I think you probably know what film I'm talking about. But that's the only other film that I have missing in the Sam Peckinpah collection. Other than that, I mean, I have all of the other ones. So, yeah. Not heard too many people talk about this one. When people talk about Sam Peckinpah, most people tend to talk about um, the Wild Bunch and the Billy the Kid film, I believe. So, yeah. Then we have a Clint Eastwood film called Pink Cadillac from the late 80s. You never know when about Clint in the 80s because it feels like it's not as good as in the 60s or 70s because I watched that film with him and Burt Reynolds called City Heat, which was kind of a disappointment. I still enjoyed it though, but yeah. Then we have a film called Operation Red Sea, which I think is some sort of sequel to another film that I already had in the collection before, but I can't remember the title of that one. Then we have the film called, what's this called? A Banzai Runner, which I think has another title as well, but I can't remember the other title. It's really strange to me because the guy on the front cover really looks like Tommy Lee Jones, but I don't think Tommy Lee Jones is in this film, so yeah. Then we have an action film from the early 90s called Stroker, which I also think, now when I come to think of it, I think this is actually a sequel to another film, which I unfortunately don't have in the collection, but that's probably going to be another one that I need to seek out, basically. So yeah, Stroker. Then we have The Aspects. Yeah. I'm not too sure now when I come to think of it. I might have showed some of these films before. I'm not too sure anymore, but anyway. The next one is The Uninvited, about some weird killer cat creature type thing, so yeah. Then we have Killer Waves, which I think is I think this is supposed to be some sort of shot on video type film from, is it 2014 or something, I believe? I'm not too sure. I think it's something like that. This one looks really weird. That's the main reason why I want to get this, because this is another one of those shot on video films from the 80s, I believe. And the film is called Geek Maggot Bingo. Just look at that. It looks really weird. Then I picked up this one mainly because it's a Mando Macabro release, and the film is called Virgins from Hell. Some sort of Filipino action type film. This might be a women in prison film, not too sure, but anyway, looking forward to that. And then we have Slayground from the early 80s, a British film, crime type film. And then we have, oh my god, here we go with I think this is called Unknown Soldier. That's pretty much what it translates to, the Swedish title, but this is a Finnish film from the 80s. That's the main reason why I picked it up, a Studio S release, so yeah. Now we have an 80s film called Working Girl with Sigourney Weaver, Melanie Griffith, and Harrison Ford. So, oh god, did you see that? I almost completely failed there. Well, then we continue after that almost fail. Then we have the Domino Principle, I believe this is called. This is a German release, so that's the reason why it has a stupid German title on the front cover. So, yeah, Gene Hackman, who quite recently, I think he had a birthday was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I'm not too sure, but anyway. Then we have Mr. Smith Goes to Washington with James Stewart. Yeah, can't go wrong with that, man. And then we have this film I remember I watched and I thought it was sort of a so bad it's good type film in general. So, The Banker from the late 80s. It's sort of like an action horror type film. Really hilarious. The last like 20 to 25 minutes of this film is really hilarious. So, yeah. Then we have, I'm so glad I found this because I think this is pretty hard or pretty rare to come across. The film is called Critical Condition with Richard Pryor. Yeah, Richard Pryor. Then we have a film with Steve Martin called Roxanne from the 80s, of course. Then we have the Yakuza, and this is from 75, I believe, and this has Robert Mitchum in it, and Also Brian Keith. Oh, that's interesting. Well, let's see. That one I've already showed you before. Then we have Everly. Also some sort of like... I think this is supposed to be some sort of rape revenge type film from 2014. So, yeah. Then we have the film that I did mention in my top 10 best films I watched during 2021. 2021, that sounds really weird. 2021, I'm going to say that there. I mentioned this as an honorable mention. I really loved this film. The Best Years of Our Lives. Oh, love that. Amazing film. And then we have The Mountain Men. This is a German release, by the way. Another one of those really weird translations. This has Charlton Heston and... Oh, Brian Keith again. Huh. Who would have known? Then we have Mona Lisa with Bob... Is that Bob Hoskins? I'm completely wrong. Yeah, it's Bob Hoskins. Also Michael Kane and Robert Coltrane. That's interesting. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna pause this. Well, the update continues. The next one is Monster Wolf, which is some sort of made-for-TV action horror type film from 2010. I've heard really bad things about this one, but I saw Robert Picardo on the back of this DVD, so that's really the main reason why I want to get it. Then we have... I have no idea what this is about, really, because apparently both of these two films in this double pack, whatever, they are Swedish films, but they have like a... I think the main guy in this is actually a porn star, which is really strange because I think these are two like action films from Sweden, which you don't see very often. SS Operation Wolf Cub, and this also comes with Sacrilege, I believe the other one is called. So yeah. Then we have C. Martin again in the film called The Lonely Guy. I think this might be early 90s. Can be totally wrong. No, this is 80s. Okay, never mind. But this one I think is 90s. House Sitter. Also with Goldie Hawn. Then finally I picked up this one. I already had the previous 3 films. Now I have all of the films in this series, and I have not seen any one of them yet, but I'm probably going to have some sort of marathon with all these if I at some point. So Rec 4. So yeah, I think this is the last one they did before they pretty much gave up. Then a tartan release. You don't come across tartan releases that often anymore. The film is called One Take Only. I believe this is a Thailand film. Where is it? Yeah, Thai. Yeah, it's a Thai film. Then we have Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn again. I've recently started to get more and more into the Chevy Chase films because I haven't seen too many of his films before, so thought I might as well do that. So the film is called Foul Play. And then we have these 3 films. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, and Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. I remember I really enjoyed the first one. I have seen the other 2, but I don't remember any of them at all, so maybe that's a bad sign, I'm not really sure, but gonna be a blast to rewatch these films nonetheless. And I think also, if I'm not completely wrong, I think Stuart Gordon was involved in the first one in some way, and then I think there was some trouble during production. He just couldn't get along with the producers or something, and that's after that he told himself, I would never work for Disney anymore. Then we have Bull Durham with Kevin Costner and Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins. I've seen this once. I thought it was so. Then again, I mean, my favorite type of sport is not baseball. I do not like baseball at all, but I'd take that over American football any day. So, yeah. Then we have a film which I think is considered a classic, Lawrence of Arabia, with Peter... Oh, what's his name? Oh, come on, what's his name? Peter O'Toole, of course. Oh, just completely blacked out. Then we have The Spy Who Came in the The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. That is a weird title, but yeah. Richard Burton, yeah. Then I picked up this double pack. The main reason why I picked up this double pack was because of the sequel, which I did not have before, but it's Teen Wolf and Teen Wolf 2. I've heard some really terrible things about the sequel, but I mean, I'm a big ass fan of the first one, so I mean, at least I would give the second one a chance, even though I have a very low very low hopes for this film. I'm just gonna shut up before I just keep mumbling on here. Then we have Ruthless People with Betty Midler and Danny DeVito. God damn it. So yeah. Well, then we continue. The next one is The Hellbenders, which is directed by Sergio Corbucci. That's the main reason why I wanted to get this, because I'm a big fan of his film. What's that film now again? Django, of course. And I also quite recently watched his film. Is it Navajo Joe, I believe? I think he directed as well with Burt Reynolds. So, yeah, only good things about that one. Then we have Curse of the Demon Mountain, which is also known as The Shadow of Shikihara or something. I had this before on VHS, and I had no idea this was even released on DVD. But then again, this is sort of like not a Vipco release, but one of those the Dead of Night collection, which is sort of like a similar type company, I believe, as Vipco. So yeah, so you get that wonderful cover art. Then let's see, that one I have already showed you before. Then we have another Western with Richard Harrison. This is going to be so weird to watch him in anything else than ninja films. Vengeance. So yeah. Then we have a Mario Bava film called I Vampiri. I think that's the way you call it. I think this might have had some other English title to it, but I can't remember that title right now. And then this one, which I have never seen, but I've heard some really good things about it. The original Ben-Hur, or Ben-Hur, or whatever you want to pronounce that. Then we have the, what's it called? This is another Goldie Hawn film. Goldie Hawn film. Private Benjamin is the title of the film, which I have seen before on TV at some point, and I thought it was pretty hilarious, pretty funny. Then we have another classic, I believe, Good Morning Vietnam, with Robin Williams. Early 90s stuff. White Fang. Yeah. Another Steve Martin film. Father of the Bride. Then we have Terminal Velocity with Charlie Sheen and Natasha Kinski. And then we have, I think this is called The Bourne Identity, the TV show, or like the miniseries that came out in the 80s, which I have not seen. I think this might have been some sort of prequel type film to or TV series to the Matt Damon films. So yeah. And now we're on to the last stack. This is all the Blu-rays I picked up. First up, we have the Towering Inferno, which I've been told is sort of like a classic film. I think my father is a big fan of this. I think he's the main reason why I picked this one up. Then we have Body Bags from the early 90s, the horror anthology film, which I don't think has ever been released on Swedish DVD or Blu-ray before. I picked up this Blu-ray mainly because of that. So yeah, really interesting cast as well. Pretty good film. Then we have The Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion, I believe it's called. A really long title. A giallo film from the 70s. And then we have The Omega Man with Charlton Heston. So yeah. And then I think this is a Hammer film, if I'm not completely wrong. This has Donald Pleasence in it. And I think it also has oh, never mind, I thought it had Peter Cushing as well, but apparently not. But anyway, The Tales That Witness Madness which I think is an anthology film. I can be totally wrong, but really love that cover art. And you might think for yourself, why did you pick up this film again? Well, I did not have this on Blu-ray, and I'm a big fan of this one and the previous film. Fright Night Part 2. I'm actually thinking of getting the first Fright Night on Blu-ray as well at some point. Then we have another Chevy Chase film from the 80s called Funny Farm. Yeah. Kind of double dipped on this one because I already had these films on DVD before, but I think those releases might have been cut in some way, so that's the reason why I picked up this Blu-ray. Children of the Corn 1, 2, and 3, Studio S release. And this is another one I picked up, which I had before, but I'm a big fan of this one and the previous one as well. So, Night of the Demons 2, which I think is a really fun, entertaining sequel. The third one is pretty weak, but it still has some good points in it, or like good things in it. Then we have the Shill Factor, which I've seen once, and I wasn't that big fan of it. But then again, I thought, well, give it another chance. It's a slasher from the late 90s, I believe. I think this was made in the 80s, but it wasn't released until the early 90s for some reason. So, yeah. Then we have Cohen and Tate with Roy Scheider and Adam Baldwin. Yeah. Then we have a comedy film from the late 70s called FM, which I can only assume has something to do with radio, so yeah. Then I picked up this one. I had this before, but then again, this is an early release, and I'm a big fan of the film itself. I had the Synapse Films release of this before. The Deadbeat at Dawn. Really great gang, low-budget gang type film from the 80s. Really entertaining. Then we have Black Test Car, Japanese film. From, I believe this is from the 60s. Can be totally wrong about that, but yeah, 62 according to the back of the Blu-ray. Then we have Pickup Alley. Never heard about this one before, but the storyline sounded interesting. Then I picked up Wake in Fright, which I got recommended to me by one of my friends, and he said this was a really depressing type film, but exploitation film, can never go wrong with that, or at least most of the times. Then we have a Kinji Fukasaku box set, which comes with 3 films. Well, unfortunately, I already had one of these films, but I mean the main reason why I wanted to get this box set was because of the other 2 films. But the films in this box set are Street Mobster, Cops versus Thugs, which I already had before, and Doberman Cop. So yeah, really awesome looking box set in my opinion. So yeah, well, that's it for the update video. Now I've been mumbling almost for one half hour, so I'm gonna shut up, and yeah, before you get really bored and take up too much of your time. So keep your eyes open for the next video, and I'll try to make more horror review videos, which has been lacking lately. So yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed, and take care, and see you next time. Bye bye.